I have been talking about the global birth rate decline, and I've been targeting certain countries. I especially target countries when people drop the names of countries into my comment section. So this woman made a comment on my post about Poland. She says, I think the declining birth rates is a continuing cultural trend independent of abortion laws. I'm an American living in Costa Rica, where abortion has been outright banned for several decades, and the women are still having steady birth rates. Also, birth control pills are very easy to get, no prescription needed, and health care for minors is free. So I believe this shift is purely cultural, and Western countries are going to decline in birth rates regardless of their laws. So there are a few things that we need to examine here. First of all, I started down Google because that's what I do. I like that they always have these nice, easy graphs. So the current Costa Rica birth rate, well, this is for 2020, and it says that the birth rate is at 1.56. If you look at this blue line, the hard blue line, there is a steady decline. Now, as I have been in this Google search, their current births per woman, I believe in one of the articles it says it's at 1.3. I want y'all to also know that many Latin American countries are experiencing these birth dearths, just like I'm seeing across the global, across the global spectrum. Now, in comparison to the United States, in 2020, the births per woman was at 1.64. So Costa Rica in 2020 was actually less than America. So keep that in mind. Now, she mentions that she doesn't believe that abortion rights have anything to do with anything. Now, as I started diving into Costa Rica, and as I have looked at trends across the globe where women's rights are being squashed, the birth dearth is quite evident. These extra patriarchal societies that don't give women rights are experiencing these because women are clamping down on their wombs. Let's get into some of these articles. Women do not have reproductive rights in Costa Rica at all. A quick Google search will let you know Central America is home to some of the strictest abortion laws. They just don't have them there. Women do not have reproductive freedom. And miscarriages can actually also lead to jail time. So women are still grappling for rights globally. Many of these countries are facing similar things, but their leadership, the patriarchy, these men do not look at bigger pictures. Costa Rica is having issues because it's getting older and women are not having babies. So this one, a recent study conducted by the University of Costa Rica has revealed, that the country boasts a significantly high life expectancy. Analyzing data from the National Household Survey, the study demonstrates an accelerated population aging in Costa Rica, surpassing projections made by the National Institute of Statistics and Census. The data from 2022 indicates that the proportion of people aged 65 or older has reached 13.63, totaling 710,000. The figure exceeds the INEC's estimate for the same year by more than 200,000. Listen to this part. The sustained drop in birth rate is cited as one of the reasons behind this trend, with the falling from 7.4 births per woman in 1950 to 1.3 in 2023, the lowest in the Americas. The study highlights that the population under 15 years old, which reflects the declining birth rate. So in this country, it has a high life expectancy and low mortality rate. But this is going to come to a head because women are choosing not to have babies. I mean, like I just said, they don't have reproductive rights. They don't have abortion rights. So this is women, literally, they must be intentionally opting out. I'm on part 2 of how Costa Rica, how their birth rate is impacted by the abortion bans and how they treat women and how it all goes hand in hand. So this one, UN expert says Costa Rica must remove barriers to healthcare access. After a recent 10-day visit across the country, UN Special Rapporteur on Health Rights, Taling Mofokeng, said that she believes that Costa Rica can overcome challenges to achieve truly universal healthcare. We shall see. Let's finish this article. She says both the people and the authorities display a sense of pride and longing for an operative public health service. The time is ripe to ascertain that healthcare for all truly means all. Mofa King stressed that the right to health should encompass underlying determinants, not just healthcare access. She called for it to be fully recognized in Costa Rica's constitution. The expert expressed concerns about Costa Rica's criminalization of abortion, stating it violates human rights standards and medical protocols. Mofo King urged the country to decriminalize abortion, saying such laws are discriminatory. Criminal and legal restrictions on abortion restrict autonomy and interfere with patient-doctor relationship, impacting access to services and information. This is gender discrimination. And like I said before, women in Central America and many Latin American countries don't have very many rights. And even if they were to write some in, it's still a very patriarchal society where women are still second-class citizens. So now I want to go into this article where women's rights are squashed, where machismo and patriarchy are high. The proclivity for violence is there. So let's get into this one. There is a prevalent toxic machismo culture here, especially in the more rural areas. In a lot of other Latin countries with the same issues, the complaints are greeted with indifference or dismissed completely. There has been a social and cultural expectation in Latin America since the Spanish conquest that men are entitled to women, and it's how they express their sense of masculinity. Understand what that means, that women are born to be gifted to men, that they are entitled to have a woman. Women are not fully human. In these states, they don't have rights. In these countries, they don't have rights. Okay, crimes against women are simply less important because women are not as important in society. In Costa Rica, the government has recently been making moves in the other direction and offering more support and laws to support women. There is still a long way to go, but you have to start somewhere. Now, this part. There is a high level of violence against women, including rape, unaliving, and human trafficking. And somebody jumped into one of my comment sections and was talking about, why do you guys just keep talking about abortion? You have to talk about it in relation to what women go through, because when there is a high sense of patriarchy, where there's high machismo, women are not seen as fully human. So it's not like women have reproductive freedoms in these countries where they get to pick and choose when they engage in sex. The consent laws are not there. So women should have the opportunity to control their reproductive system where they can. According to a small arms survey report, Latin America is home to 14 of the 25 countries with the highest rates of femicide in the world. Even though Costa Rica comes in fairly low in the rankings with the other countries, it continues to be an area of concern. It has only been amplified by the pandemic. High unemployment, more time spent in the home, and alcohol are contributing factors to this rate of violence against women. Understand that this is not a great way to foster women wanting to have babies. Even though these are 2020 numbers and the numbers are still lower than this, the numbers are at 1.3 births per woman. I want y'all to understand that these birth rates will continue to drop. They will continue to drop because women are opting out globally. Women are saying no more because the violence against women, the restrictions of women, the lack of safety, women are opting out. They're closing down their wombs. And so all of this goes hand in hand for the people that can't understand why women's rights are at the forefront and why we're talking about the global implications, because these global implications is not isolated. It goes hand in hand. How you treat women will impact all of your society, all of your culture, and then the whole world at large. Y'all jump into the comments. I'm done with this with this one, and let me know what country you think I should examine next.